Today, my son turns 4 months old, and we're so happy. As you noticed, we've been a little bit less active on the YouTube channel and less active on the updates. It's because we've been so busy making sure that Felix Alexander here grows up healthy, grows up happy, hits some milestones. And today, while I talk to you, why it's just not worth going back to the United States, I'm going to show you a little bit of what he's been up to. But before we begin to show you, I want to give a huge shout out to my brother who got two of these. So this is the small size, and he bought a bigger size so that Felix can represent my home city of Los Angeles. I think it's freaking awesome. We're going to take this off though because he's going to have to work out a little bit. We're going to go on the mat and show you some things that he's been working on. We're going to take the sweater off so he doesn't overheat. Something about babies is that they hate getting their heads through, but he's a sportsman. He's got his little baby Tinashka there ready to go. Okay. And we've been working him out on this mat here. It's like a foam mat because we have the space to do it in this little mini living room. And he really enjoys looking at these pictures. Even Mexico is represented here on the floor with Chichen Itza pyramid in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Now, a lot of people have been asking for updates about our son. So I wanted to do this video because another question that I get is, when are you going to take him to the United States? Why don't you go to the United States? And honestly, this is why I'm not going to the United States. He's the reason why he's not going to the United States. It's very hard for him to exist in a country where they wouldn't even give him his citizenship. It's so hard right now to go to Moscow and then probably be denied an appointment. And it's just not right. It's not fair, and we can't take him away from the land where he was born. I totally agree and think this way. I don't believe that he should be raised in a country that's so far away from his motherland. ¿Verdad que no? ¿Verdad que no, mi niño? It must be strange for him to even hear me speak English because I'm always speaking to him in Spanish. A ver. Ahí está el elefante, mi niño. El elefante, qué bonito está. Now, Felix does have double citizenship with Mexico and Russia. He was born in Russia. He's a Russian citizen, and Mexico recognizes its citizens much easier, much faster. But even to Mexico, I wouldn't take him to live for a long time too soon. I want him to be raised here. I want him to learn Baikal, learn Russian really well. I want him to know that this is his homeland, this is his motherland. When I was growing up in the United States, it was really difficult because I would go to Mexico, I'd go to the United States, and I was caught between two countries. And you know, they always say, you're not from here or from over there. Well, I don't want that for my son. I want him to know that he is Russian with Mexican heritage. That will never go away from him. And I don't feel like he's losing anything by not being in the United States. People who watch these videos sometimes think that to be American is the most important thing in the world. Vámonos. Opa. Ahí está, Felix. Muy bien. And honestly, we have to understand that some people just don't think that way. Like, I don't think it's the end of the world that my son doesn't have American citizenship. I know a lot of foreigners, immigrants who came to Russia from the United States who get the American citizenship as soon as possible for their kids. we haven't done that because we live so far from Moscow. We haven't done that because it's not a priority for us. It's not like we're gonna be going to California anytime soon. Anybody from my family who wants to visit him is gonna have to come all the way from the United States to see him here. He's a little Russian Mexican, and he's a Russian Mexican American. Maybe if he ever gets his American citizenship, if he ever wants it, if America ever starts treating its people better, because if they understood that there's hundreds of thousands of Russian Americans, they wouldn't make it so difficult for people to get a hold of them at the embassy and stuff like that. Now, he is 4 months today. Today is February 8th. We're recording this and we're going to publish this. A lot of people may be mothers and fathers and say, don't do that with your kid. He's not ready. I can assure you, he's very strong. He's very sturdy. Nothing I'm doing is hurting him. And this is like his daily routine. We just stretch him out. We'll play with him a little bit later. And then he'll be put down. But for now, I'm going to finish his exercises and then I'll finish off this conversation and kind of zone in what I'm trying to say. But let's see. Will he turn around with some assistance? A ver. Date la vuelta. Date la vuelta. Ahí está. It takes a while for him to know that he has to do that by himself. I help him by pushing his foot. But, mira, Felix, esta es Chichen Itza. Maybe one day he'll go there. Will be the Russian Mexican. Another thing, by the way, that we work on is teaching him to crawl. He already gets up on his knees. Of course, he needs to know what he's doing. But you can see he froggers around on the floor. See how he lifts up that booty? Yeah, it's so funny. He loves to move fast. All right, let's finish off his workout. Now we're done working out. Now, he's not a 100% bottle-fed baby. Right now, my wife is very sick. And he's got to drink out of the bottle. And you can see he's even learned to hold his own bottle. And it's really, really good because, you have your two hands. And it's also really cool to see a little baby hold his bottle so early. I see people sometimes holding the bottle, but he's been doing this for over a month now. He just turned 4 months, but he's been feeding himself since 3 months. And I want to continue with the conversation. You see, I don't really get offended by the people who tell me things like, "Oh, you had a baby in a dictatorship," stuff like that. It doesn't really bother me anymore. But what does kind of blow my mind is the other people who say that it's a mistake not to get him American citizenship, like I mentioned earlier. Why do you guys think that it's so important for children of Americans around the world to have American citizenship if their life, the kid's life, can be just as good or if not better in that country in which they're in? We don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 to 20 to 30, 40 years when he grows up. So it's why I'm not rushing to get him that piece of paper. And by the way, we gave him a nice little haircut. His hair was getting way too long. And he had to look like a proper young man. So he's got that comb over to the side. And I think his hair looks fine for now. His hair is growing. But please let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this topic, right? If there's more foreigners immigrating into Russia from the United States, do you think that it's like important or it's vital for them to get the baby's American citizenship? I want to know your guys' opinion, because the old comments are from people who are probably not subscribed because they don't really know where I stand. But some of you guys who are watching this probably understand my mentality and how I care about my son. And I would never take him away from this place. How beautiful he is. Puts himself to sleep. Gorgeous. This is an update, guys. It's an update on our son. It's an update on our lives. It's an update on what's going on mentally for me, because he's so young right now that anyways, whatever we decide to do probably won't affect him immediately, right? But his health is important. His development is important, which is why you see us a little bit less active on the channel, and why you see the workouts that we do. And then that's only a little bit of what we do, right? The diaper changes, the feedings, the going outsides. It's so amazing. You know, he was born in October 8th. One day after President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and my good friend Amir out there in Moscow on a Wednesday. Beautiful day that day. You know, it was very gray in October, but for some reason the sun was so bright, and the sunset that day, because Ksenia had him 5 minutes before the day ended, and I heard him crying only a few minutes before 12. I can just remember that day the sun was setting behind Ksenia. Believe it or not, that's how it was. It was crazy. It's amazing. The world where my son is not born in Russia and I keep him here doesn't exist. I'm so proud of my wife for delivering this young boy. I'm so happy where our life is. Our son is growing. He seems to be very happy. He has a grandfather here who loves him so much. My mom has not met him. My family has not met him, but I'm just, you know, when I started making videos, I wasn't even married. My wife, Ksenia, was not even my fiance. I was not engaged. I had no plans. And there was a trend of videos where it says you flirted a little bit too much and I ended up in the non-tourist place of Russia. It seems like that's what happened. But this couldn't be any better for me. What do you guys think? Huh? There's no such thing as a mistake baby. They don't choose their parents. They don't choose to be born. Look at him. He's laser focused. That's a 4-month-old right there.
Мальчик мой сладкий, сыночка. А мама-то вот она. Сына, привет, привет. А мама вот она. Сына, да не там. Хватит на себя любоваться. А? Хватит любоваться-то.
And you see, he has such a good attention that it's no reason why you can't make videos around babies. Not so often, because they'll look at something. ¿Verdad que sí? A ver, yo quiero que tú aprendas español, después de ruso, ¿Verdad que sí, mi niño? You want your sons and daughters to be focused on you and learning and away from phones. ¿Verdad que sí, mi niño hermoso? ¿Verdad que sí? So I have to put him down now. You saw he was eating, but I had to burp him. He burped. Opa. And, a ver, la leche. Toma. You see that? Even at a young age, they know that something is there. It's fascinating. He doesn't know what the phone is, but he wants to look at it and see what's happening over there. And he loves his mother more than he loves me. That's the truth, and I love that. Children should always love their mothers at a young age. If the mother is giving and loving, then they should love them more. So I'll finish getting him drunk on milk. I'll put him down and we'll talk more. I wouldn't want my son to be robbed of the opportunity to grow up in a small town. Behind me is our local stadium, small stadium that we fill up with water, and the kids ice skate and play hockey during the winters. And this is just small town stuff. There's little kids from like age 5 up to age 16, and they're all by themselves. Where I'm from, if you're 10, you're not in the streets anymore. Here the kids go out by themselves. I understand it's like this in other parts of the world, but where I'm from, you can't see that. And right now we're walking to the store to buy some food. It's walking distance. You can see what the surrounding area looks like. The sun is setting right over there. These old Soviet apartments that were built for the train road workers are still working very well. People are living in them. And we're making our way to the store. This is something I think my son is going to appreciate. Our son is going to grow up in something that's not going to exist in the future, where everybody's moving to cities. We made it to the store. This is Kleb Sol. This is like cheaper, more affordable food. Not so bad quality. And I want to say, guys, thanks for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, if you like the stuff that we're showing. Recently I've been making or posting more shorts. Go look at the shorts for the people with the short attention span. Goodbye. Bye, Sush.